Welcome to 3D Print Pulse, your essential weekly update from the cutting edge of 3D printing and additive manufacturing. Every week, we bring you the most important news and developments. The episodes are crafted by All3DP's expert editors and voiced by text-to-speech so that we can go hunting for news again. Ready for the latest? Let's dive right in.
If you hear popping sounds during a print or see excessive stringing, you have a moisture problem. Some filament types are hygroscopic. They love to suck water out of the air, and wet plastic ruins prints. But before you spend $100 on an electronic dryer, consider building a permanent solution for a fraction of the cost. All3DP's latest guide breaks down the DIY filament dry box. The concept is simple. Instead of just drying filament when it's wet, you print directly from a sealed, low-humidity environment. The build requires three main ingredients: an airtight storage bin, preferably one with a rubber gasket seal, some rechargeable silica gel beads, and a few pneumatic fittings. The genius of this setup is the print while dry capability. By drilling holes in the bin and installing the fittings, you can feed filament through a PTFE tube directly to your printer. This keeps the spool in a humidity-controlled chamber even during a 20-hour print job. You will need to 3D print a spool holder. The article links to several roller designs, and mount a cheap hygrometer inside to monitor the levels. For less than $30, you get a system that protects your PLA, PETG, and sensitive nylon 24/7, turning a plastic tub into a critical piece of engineering infrastructure.
We all know that distinct, sweet smell of melting plastic. But have you ever stopped to ask, is it safe? New data suggests the risk is far more specific and manageable if you know the numbers. According to a recent study on human lung cells, emissions from standard PLA and ABS filaments were shown to increase inflammatory markers linked to diseases like pulmonary fibrosis and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. While a separate study on rats showed less toxicity, the signal is clear. 3D printer emissions can be harmful. Crucially, not all fumes are created equal. Research indicates that SLA resin printers are the heavy hitters, emitting volatile organic compounds at a rate 3 to 6 times higher than FDM filament printers. This includes known carcinogens like formaldehyde, which are released during printing and curing. For filament users, the danger often lies in the additives. An FDA study found that carbon-filled ABS releases significantly more gas than standard ABS. Furthermore, research by Georgia Tech suggests that cheap generic filaments emit higher concentrations of aerosols than reputable brands due to unknown chemical fillers. The good news? You can engineer your way out of this using the machine itself. Data shows that nozzle temperature is the single biggest variable. Exceeding the optimal temperature for a material can increase particle emission rates by up to 10,000 times. Interestingly, nozzle size matters too. For most materials like ABS and PLA, a standard 0.4 mm nozzle produces the lowest emissions. However, for flexible TPU, the math flips. A larger nozzle actually reduces emissions. The most effective fix remains containment. Placing a desktop printer inside an enclosure with HEPA and carbon filtration has been proven to reduce particle emission rates by 97%. The takeaway is simple. Don't just ventilate. Buy better filament, print at the lowest viable temperature, and if you print resin, respect the chemistry.
For years, if you needed 3D printed parts to be strong and stiff, you reached for carbon fiber nylon. But a Silicon Valley advanced materials company called Lighten says that standard is now obsolete. At the recent Performance Racing Industry Show, Lighten unveiled PA1205, a new filament reinforced not with chopped carbon fiber, but with a proprietary 3D graphene network. The distinction is critical. Standard carbon fiber filaments are filled with microscopic chopped strands. As Lighten explains, these act like tiny, rigid rods. They reinforce the part horizontally but leave the vertical z-axis weak and prone to splitting. Lighten's approach is different. Their graphene forms a nanoscale, three-dimensional mesh that weaves through the polymer. Instead of isolated sticks, you get a continuous reinforcing lattice. The The results, at least on paper, are staggering. Lighton reports a Z-axis tensile strength of 60 megapascals. That is significantly higher than industry standards like Stratasys Nylon 12 CF, effectively solving the weak layer problem of FDM printing. It's not just strong, it's light and heat-resistant. With a heat deflection temperature of 162 degrees Celsius and a density lower than mark-forged onyx, it is squarely targeting aerospace and motorsports applications. Priced at $150 per kilogram, it is a premium material, but Lighton claims it runs on standard industrial printers without specialized hardware. Before use, the filament must be dried for 8 hours at 80 degrees Celsius. Printing requires a nozzle temperature of 270 degrees Celsius and a print bed temperature of at least 100 degrees, specifications modern Prusa and Bambu Lab machines can reach. If these specs hold up in the wild, the domination of chopped carbon fiber might be coming to an end.
Are you an engineer or designer looking for high-precision CNC parts? Tired of waiting for manual quotes? Stop waiting. Craftcloud is your solution for instant on-demand CNC machining. Upload your CAD file, select from a wide range of materials, and instantly compare real-time quotes worldwide. Get the best price on precision parts, from rapid prototypes to mass production. We offer 3-axis and 5-axis milling, turning, and more. No minimum orders, just transparent pricing, fast delivery, and expert service. Craftcloud. We turn your CNC ideas into reality.
Do you have a 3D printing idea so ambitious that you're afraid to start it? Bambu Lab wants to pay you to build it. The company has just launched the Let's Make It Fund, a massive new grant program designed to support high-impact maker projects. We aren't talking about small change for filament here. Grants can range from a few $1,000s all the way up to $300,000 for projects that demonstrate exceptional scale and potential. The program is surprisingly open. You do not need to own a Bambu Lab printer to apply. There are no fixed deadlines. Applications are reviewed on a rolling basis, with 2 to 5 winners selected every quarter. What are they looking for? Bambu Lab lists 3 key criteria. The project must be exceptional, pushing boundaries, enlightening, bringing positive social value, and crucially, executionable, meaning it's actually feasible. Winners don't just get cash. They may also receive technical backing, promotional support, and hardware. The only requirement in return? You have to document your journey and share the process with the community. If you've been sitting on a world-changing idea because it was too risky or expensive, head to the Bambu Lab website. This might be your green light.
Anycubic has officially launched the Kobra X, a high-speed FDM printer that integrates a 4-color module directly into the printhead. Unlike previous systems that relied solely on external switchers, the Kobra X features an internal color switching mechanism combined with a new ACE Gen 2 system. This setup reduces purge waste by retracting filament only 30 millimeters instead of the usual 160 millimeters, cutting material waste by over 80% during multicolor prints. The system is expandable to handle up to 19 colors. Prusa Research has teamed up with Czech game publisher Albi to release Crash Derby, a tabletop board game designed for 3D printing enthusiasts. Players race customizable 3D printed cars across a chaotic track, battling for flags and dodging obstacles. While the game includes physical components, the core appeal is its integration with 3D printing. Users can print their own car bodies and upgrades. It is available for pre-order now, with shipping slated for early 2026.
That's it from the weekly roundup from the world of 3D printing. As usual, you can find all the links in the show notes. Thank you to our sponsor Craftcloud, and remember, you can always find more in-depth articles, reviews and guides at all3dp.com. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a rating or review. It really helps us to bring these updates to even more 3D printing enthusiasts like you. We wish you happy holidays, and 3D Print Pulse will be back in January.